Review. Book 101 is all about the books that are read for the last 40 years. And today I have my special guest. He is the author of the book, The Way of Money. No other than Mr. Eric Mitchell.
Hey Daniel, I have a beard now though. I'm playing with my first beard of my life.
Oh,
So
wow. Welcome to Book 101, Mr. Eric. And can you please introduce more about yourself?
yeah, Eric Mitchell, Chief Revenue Officer for Client Direct Mortgage, certified master practitioner in neuro linguistic programming, voted last 10 years in a row most connected mortgage professional in America, and just passionate about helping people achieve more than they thought was possible.
Yes, indeed. And, Mr. Tell us the why of money. What is all about?
Yeah, I made an observation several years ago. I was on a journey of learning my why. Why is it that I am driven? What's driving me? What drives the 1% of salespeople to build wealth, and what stops 99% of salespeople from doing the same? It's a level playing field. We're all working with the same access to resources. So why do 99% of salespeople live paycheck to paycheck or sell just enough to get by, and why do 1% keep going and build wealth? Is it mindset? Is it some sort of advantage in the marketplace? Like, what's the separator? And in my journey of asking, hundreds if not thousands of mega earners, like, why do you want so much money? Like, what's driving those behaviors? The quick observation I made very quickly was that the top 1% never answer that it's about money. There's some other reason. And the 99% always answer about the money. They want security. They want, you know, something stable. They want some sort of money focus. And so I learned, as continuing that journey, I learned that there were only five reasons that ever came back from the top 1% that were driving their activities. And so I wrote a thesis, a short little, uh, you know, document about my observation. And a book publisher asked me to prove my theory, and I did. And then they asked me to write the book. And here we are.
Congratulations, Mr. Eric, and thank you for sharing your knowledge and wisdom to the world. Your title emphasizes understanding the why of money. Beyond basic survival and security, what are the deeper, often subconscious drive you see most commonly sabotaging people's relationship with earning potential?
Yeah, I would say that the number one thing that holds people back is just not feeling worthy. There's some sort of internal software that's running that they're typically not even aware of, that is telling them that money is the root of all evil, or if I make a lot of money, I'm going to have to give up some of my friendships, or my family won't love me as much because I'll be different, right? If I earn a lot of money, and so there's these things that just stop them from achieving what they could be achieving. And the 1% of salespeople, and whether it be financial, real estate, CPAs, whatever it is that you sell for a living, whatever it is you're doing, what is it that takes that 1% past those barriers? In the five categories, I can describe them real briefly. First category is some sort of away from, meaning that they're coming from a very bad place and they never want to go back. And so in the United States, you'll see that with immigrant families. They came from a bad place, they've immigrated to the United States, and they're just going to outwork you, right? Like they're so happy to be here and be free and have a chance at a better life. They'll just outwork you and build wealth. Um, and that doesn't have to be from an immigration standpoint. It could be like if you look at like Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre and guys like that. They came from Compton. They came from a bad neighborhood, bad upbringing, so they just outworked everybody. Certainly, they're talented, but more importantly, they never stopped working. They were in the recording studio at 3 o'clock in the morning, recording. There was no stop. So that's one, and away from, I just don't want to go back to a challenge situation. Number two is an emotional gratification. They're looking for a moment. One of the stories I'd like to compare that to would be Janis Joplin. She was a singer in the 60s and 70s. And her driver was that she wanted to be the number one recording artist, number one female recording artist in the world. And she achieved it. But once she achieved it, she didn't replace the driver, right? So now there's a hole where that driver was. And so she turned to drugs and died of overdose because she didn't replace the driver. And so it could be that your grade one teacher told you were stupid, or your dad didn't hug you enough, or whatever it is. Something's driving this need for an emotional moment. That's number two. Number three is typically caring for your parents. And so in some cultures, it's very important that your parents are revered, right? And they may not be ready for retirement financially. And so there's a driver. I have to earn more money because I have to care for my parents. Number four is opportunities for your children. You might be in the wrong school district. There might be something going on with the family business that's driving your activities where you're trying to create some sort of significance with regards to your children. And then five, the last one is legacy. You're trying to create a permanent footprint or a fingerprint on the planet that says I was here and I mattered. And those are the five drivers. You don't need all five; you just need one.
Mm,
But
yes.
but you want to figure out which one is your driver and then latch onto it. And there's a video on my website, eric-mitchell.com. There's a book summary. It's about a 15-minute video where I prove the theory. And so you can watch the video and say, okay, if he's going to prove the theory, let me see how he proves it. And then, okay. Now it's very, like, light bulbs go off going, oh, because what, as humans, we will do certain things. We will risk certain things for money, but then we reach a stopping point,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
But if we're making decisions about our why and it's not about the money, then there is no stopping point. We don't stop. And that's understanding that difference is really the separator for people to go to that next level in their life.
Mr. Eric, thank you so much for that why and a beautifully articulated. You talk about earning what you deserve.
Mm.
How do you help readers distinguish between a healthy sense of deservingness rooted in the value and contribution and unhealthy entitlement?
Yeah, I mean, entitlement is definitely a problem in society these days. Um, and I don't know that I have a solution to entitlement. I can just recognize it when it's in front of me. I think the only real solution to entitlement is, parenting, right? Your parents either taught you not to be entitled or they didn't. And I don't know of another mechanism um, to help with that. But when you look at earning, what I try and first find out is, okay, let's say you make $1 million a year, $2 million a year, $5 million a year. What are you going to do with the money? That's my first question. What do you do with the money? And that's going to tell me what they're focused on, right? If they say, oh, I'm going to invest it. Oh, you're going to invest it. So you have no emotional attachment to this, which means you're never going to do it. As soon as I hear that, oh, I'm going to invest it. Great. But then I'm wasting my time because you're never going to get there. What do you mean? Look, life is going to beat you up, right? You're going to sell for a living, you have to go through rejection.
True.
And for you to be willing to do that, there has to be some sort of emotional attachment to what you're going to do with the money. Otherwise, you're going to stop. You won't continue. And so one of my favorite stories was I was talking to a woman and she was telling me her why, what she thought was her why. She really wanted to teach people. She was passionate about teaching. And I said, okay, hold on. Let's first understand that if your number one passion is teaching, then you will earn a living the same as a teacher. Is that your goal? Well, no. Well, then that can't be your number one passion. It can be a byproduct. I'm not saying don't teach, but if that's your number one, then you will be paid as a teacher. That's how much money you're going to earn. right? And so then some people will say, well, I want to help people. Oh, your number one driver is helping people? Yeah. Go volunteer for charity. Well, no, I want to get paid. Ah, you want to get paid. Okay, so that's got to be the number one driver. You can help people and you can teach, right? But those have to be second and third,
Yes.
right? Like if you're going to own a company, your number one driver has to be profit, because if you're not profitable, you have to close your doors. So it doesn't matter. Whatever your company's doing won't be around, so it doesn't matter. So you have to drive profit. By helping people, great. Yes, like I have a personal filter. I can do no harm. Like I can't harm someone as a part of my business, and that's a filter, but it's not my driver. Right? Separate. Those are not the same. So anyway, this woman was describing, superficial stuff, and I said, "Can we stop? Can I take some guesses at some things?" And she said, "Sure." And we had built some rapport, and she was choosing to trust the process, which I appreciated. And I said, "I hear an accent. Right? You've got a slight accent. Where are you from?" And I apologize. I don't. It was somewhere in Central America. It's one of the Central American countries. I just don't remember off the top of my head. And I said, okay, so you have an accent. You're from there. How old were you when you came to the United States? He said, I was pretty young. My dad brought me and my sisters. And I said, oh, you've got how many sisters? Two sisters. There's three of us, and my dad alone brought us. I said, okay, was that easy for him? It's like, no, it was really bad, like really, really bad. She described it, and I won't repeat it, but he went through a brutal pain to get his girls away from that and to get them here, right? And so I said to her, "Is he alive?" She said, "Yeah, he's alive." So you're close to him? Yeah, we all live together. Yes, we're very close. I said, "Have you ever paid tribute to his sacrifice?" She says, "I don't know what that means. What do you mean paid tribute?" I said, "Okay, um, like what are some of his favorite things? Like what has meaning to him?" She said, "Oh, he loves soccer." I said, "Oh, okay, soccer." So that soccer has meaning to him. It's like, yes, so he loves soccer. Great. So how much money would it cost to go back to your home country, go back to the school where your dad was raised and when he went to school, and build a soccer field with his name on it while he's alive? And she's like, wait, what?
Hmm.
Okay, look, it's Central America. It can't be that much to build a soccer field, right? You put a
Yes.
basketball court in there, the soccer field, think of it like an outdoor sports something, right?
Yes.
Put in some bleachers. Like what are we talking about? $100,000 all in, roughly. Best
Yes.
guess.
Yes.
Okay, how many houses do you have to sell? That's five extra houses in California. You sell five extra houses, extra, because you got to make a living, right? So five extra houses, you can do that for your dad. Now fly him and your sister, fly everybody down on a private plane, land, have the mayor of the town and the principal of the school and all the teachers and all the kids and all that, and you're going to do an unveiling, right? They're going to have a marching band, and then they're going to pull down the tarp, and your dad's going to look up and he's going to see his name, right? Well, now she's crying, like she's just sobbing, going, "Oh my God." That's what you do with the money.
True.
Now, are you prepared to prospect? And she's like, "Oh my God, get out of my way." I'm like, there we go. There we go. That's the driver. How now the question is, how bad do you want it? How many phone calls are you prepared to make? How many deals are you willing to close? How many hours are you willing to work per week? That's the difference between activities for money and activities for your why.
Again, Mr. Eric, very well said and empowering indeed. And as an author, a mortgage of fintech marketer, strategist, speaker, what are your short term and long term goals?
Short term, we're developing a software that's going to change the mortgage industry in the United States. So very excited to be on the front end of that, automating the process in a very beneficial way to consumers. Um, so from a short term standpoint, from a long-term standpoint, my goals have changed, right? I would say now it's how many millionaires can I help create, right? And so now when I meet somebody, I'm trying to figure out, can I help you become a millionaire? Is that what you want, and are you prepared for the journey? Because the journey, and like I have a fitness trainer. I've recently decided to lose some weight, right? And so I got a fitness trainer, and he's trying to be polite, right? He's like, "Well, Eric, we gotta." It's like, "Dude, stop, man. I'm committed. I need you to just speak truth. Stop with the being nice stuff, right?"
Yes.
And so now he yells at me and, "Hey, stop being such a princess, blah blah blah. Like, you need to give me three more." Because what I need him to do is to yell at me, right? Like, that's what I'm paying him for. I know I need to work out more. I know I need to eat better. I know all these things. Like, it's not the knowledge that I'm paying him for. I have the knowledge. What I'm paying him for is the accountability. I need to be held accountable. And that's what I need him there for. And so now right now, because think about it, being a physical trainer, your job is to get someone to change their behavior, right? All the stuff you
Yes.
love, all the food you love, yeah, you can't have that anymore, right? Getting up in the morning and feeling good, yeah, that's going to stop. You're going to hurt. You're going to ache. You're going to hurt in places you didn't even know you had places. Right? And so people want to fire their physical trainer because it's hard. Well,
Mhm.
I'm not firing you. Like, so let's make it hard. And so understanding what is it that you want and how bad do you want it, and are you prepared to pay the price to get there? And that's money, physical fitness, relationships, whatever it is. There's a price to be paid. When somebody says, "Oh, I just want to find unconditional love," oh, good luck. What's that? I mean, dogs maybe, but not humans, not real life. There's conditions, whether the conditions be fidelity or, respect or whatever it is, right? There's conditions. And so how are we choosing to live our best lives? And what I can tell from personal experience is that whatever stress I'm facing, it's easier to face that stress if I have money in the bank. I'm going to get the stress either way. So I might as well have some money in the bank and make it easier. It doesn't solve all problems, right? I'm not crazy. Money doesn't solve all problems, but it sure makes it easier to go through them.
True. That's 100% true, Mister. And good luck to your goals. And looking forward for more success and looking for a lot of millionaires to come. And what would be your piece of advice for those people out there want to be like you?
Well, I don't know they want to be like me, right? I have my flaws just like everybody else. I would say you want to you want to find a mentor. I've been blessed by having many mentors in my life, and when you have a mentor, you want to also recognize that that person, whoever you admire and respect, you don't want to put them on a pedestal because they have weaknesses. We all have weaknesses, but hopefully they have a specific strength that you can learn from, right? Like one of my mentors and one of my best friends, he gives me great advice about being a better person. Like, how do I better communicate with myself? How I better communicate with the world? Um, Now, do I take financial advice from him? No, right? No, no. But I take life advice from him, right? The way he communicates is brilliant. Then I've got another friend who has this amazing marriage, right? Like world class marriage, and so I take marriage advice. I'm not married, but I take relationship advice from him, right? He's showing that he knows what he's doing. So I'm going to take the what I don't want is to take relationship advice from somebody who's miserable or single. Bad, bad, bad. Don't take that advice, right? You'll get their result. I don't want that result, so I'm not going to take your advice. And so figure out who you want to take advice from. because they've accomplished what you want to accomplish, but then do as they tell you. The greatest gift you can give a mentor is to do what they tell you. Don't fight them. Don't, well, yeah, but my way is, hold on. What's your way? Did it get you what you wanted? No, then stop it. Try my way. And it's incredibly uncomfortable, right? So like my conversation with my fitness guys, he's telling me I have to have carbs at night. I'm like, dude, I can't have carbs at night. Like my body doesn't respond well. It sits in my stomach. I'm grumpy. Like my body, yeah, you're gonna feel that way for about 2 or 3 weeks. Then your body's gonna acclimate, and then it's gonna turn into a fat burner. I need you to have whole wheat. They're called whole oats. Oats, literally oats, with some yogurt and some protein powder. Swear to God, that's what he's got me eating at night. And I was like, dude, like that's not. He says, are you listening to me, princess? Right? Do you want to lose weight? You know, I don't want to lose weight. Like, okay, okay. You're right. You're right. So now when I get home from working out at night, I grab some oats, throw in a bowl, some Greek yogurt, some protein powder, mix it all up, and there's my after workout. It's like, because I want to look like him, right? Like the guy is absolutely shredded. And I said, and he's saying, this is what I do. You want to do as I do? Yes, I want to do as you do. Great. You're going to eat some oats, some Greek yogurt, and some protein powder. So, but the same applies to making money, right? Find somebody who's making the money, do as they do. Do not take money advice or sales advice from somebody who's broke.
True.
Don't do it.
As advice from Mr. Eric, for sure. He will guide you to be a millionaire. And thank you for that advice, Mr. Eric. And can you please recommend a book that influenced your journey?
My one of my favorite books is Rene Rodriguez, good friend of mine, wrote a book, Amplify. If you go to his website, meetrene.com, you can read all about it. He's a brilliant, brilliant strategist, and his book will change people's lives for sure. Meet so meetrene.com. Rene Rodriguez is a brilliant, brilliant human.
Yes. Thank you for that recommendation, Mr. Eric. And how does shame surrounding money play into self sabotage, and how do you address this?
Yeah, I mean, shame, that's the not feeling worthy, right? Like people don't feel worthy of success because somebody installed software, right? Usually it's mom or dad, usually, right? They made some sort of statement when you were young, something about, our family, we're not like those families because we have integrity and we have honor. And if you have money, you don't have integrity or honor. All it takes is a 3-year-old to hear something like that, and boom, software is installed, right? Because mom said, because dad said. And so, what's our ability to understand that our parents did the best they could with what they knew, right? Because they had software installed by their parents, and make a choice. Is that something that I want to hold on to? Is it serving me? Is it serving my immediate family? Is it serving my spouse? Is it serving my kids? Or can I find a way to discard that belief and incorporate a new belief that I am worthy of making X amount of money and taking care of my family? Because if you don't have that belief, then the activities aren't going to happen, right? You're gonna self sabotage for sure at some point.
Definitely. And beyond the obvious, people not earning enough, what type of person uh, surprisingly benefits most from this deeper work on the why?
Everybody, there's no personality profile that is better or worse. Um, my book there's a chapter in my book talking about how to surround yourself with a team, because it's very difficult to build anything significant in life by yourself. And so, what's our ability to formulate ourselves into better leaders, and then attract people into our team that want to go in the same direction, but have different skills? And so, understanding how do I do that? But I don't care what personality profile you are. right? You have the ability to build wealth regardless of your profile. It's just your style is different. That's all. Like if you hate sell, I'll give you an example. If you hate selling, you're like, I hate selling. I'm never going to be a great salesperson. Great. Then hire a great salesperson, right?
Yes.
You don't have to be the one, you don't have to be the one doing it. That's not required. It just has to get done. Right. And so
Yes.
Jack Welch of GE fame back in the day, right? He's a perfect example. He's a supporter. He wasn't the guy selling. He didn't sell anything. He supported the ones that sold. And so it doesn't matter your profile, right? There is a way, you can find it. There is a path. It's already been achieved. Find those that have the same profile, do as they do. There's a whole chapter in my book about it, about how to do that.
Mr. Eric Mitchell, truly empowering answer. But before we wrap up our discussion for today, I'm inviting you to please do listen to my other podcast, people. My other podcast, because my abstract essay is already in fifth season, abstract poetry in second season, and my book 101 review in fifth season too, comedy 101 in second season, and my food 101 in fifth season as well. Geography 101 fourth season, and my baby podcast Law 101 and Mental Health 101. Love Letters in third season, and my movie 101 review and music 101 in each fourth season two, and Science 101 and Sex 101 in each per season. Please listen to them wherever you listen your podcast. And Mr. Eric, what's the single most transformative insight or aha moment you hope readers take away from the why of money that fundamentally changed their trajectory?
No matter your background, no matter your childhood, no matter your circumstances, no matter who your friends are, no matter where you live, all of those have no bearing on whether you're going to choose to make money or not. What I would wish is if you made a lot of money, what would you spend the money on? And as you're describing whatever that is, if you're not weeping as you're describing it, you didn't go deep enough. Like for me, in when I talk about how many millionaires can I help create, it's about respecting the teachings of my grandfather. Right? My grandfather is the one driving that. And so if somebody said, "Well, tell me more about your grandfather and like what's driving that?" I tear up, right? Because it has massive amounts of meaning to me. And so if you're describing your why and you're not getting choked up, that's not it. You're not deep enough. You need to go under whatever that is and find out what's driving that. And a lot of times I'll say, "What about that is important to you?" And then they give me an answer. Okay, thank you. Now what about that is important to you? And we're just going deeper and deeper and deeper until we get to a where it came from.
Mr. Eric Mitchell, thank you so much for sharing your why to the world and hoping for more and more empowering why to come. So, can you please invite our listeners to support your book, your advocacy, or whatever projects that you're doing right now?
Yeah, eric-mitchell.com, ERIC Mitchell, MITCHELL.com has all of my links right there for you.
Yes, people, let's support Mr. Eric Mitchell because if you support him, more and more and more empowering books to come, more and more empowering legacy to come, and for sure, more and more millionaires to come. So, Mr. Eric, thank you so much for your time.
Thanks, Daniel.
More to come, people. See you soon.